Hey guys, one of my things I like to do with this YouTube channel is keep up to speed on new happenings and new developments in the music industry, especially ones that relate to Ableton Live. So I'm sitting here with Jake Perrine today, and Jake is, in addition to being a friend of mine, he is a Ableton trainer out of Orcas Island and the San Juan Islands. And Jake has been, he was actually in my certification group, so we got to know each other when we both became trainers, and we've been in touch ever since. And I'll give you a little bit of background on Jake. Jake was heavily involved in the Art Institute in Seattle, running a lot of classes in their electronic music production program for 10 years, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. And through that time, Jake's also been a really accomplished mix and mastering engineer. And he has a new book on Ableton Live that is just launching. And that's kind of the captivating news I wanted to fill you guys in on. There's a few different series of books out there on producing music with Ableton Live, but Jake definitely has a very experienced perspective to bring to the table, given his musical background, and I wanted to take the opportunity to interview him and share a little bit of that info and allow him to share a bit about the new book with you guys on the channel. So the book is called Producing Music with Ableton Live.
Producing Music with Ableton Live, correct.
Awesome. And could you fill us in a bit on, who's the audience? Who's the book aimed at?
I in a survey of the books that are out there, I found that a lot of the books were kind of a replacement or an addendum to the manual that Ableton provides. And honestly, I kind of like Ableton's manual. I think it's pretty good already. But it doesn't really give you techniques on how to use the program. It's really just showing you what the tool is. So I really wanted to make a book that teaches you the program, but walks you through the features while actually doing something useful with it, making a track. So it starts you from scratch and walks you through, about 3/4 the way through making a track. And there's a second book that's the follow-up book that'll come out next month. That'll be the rest of the process, which is the more in-depth, lengthy process of mixing and mastering and automation and MIDI, some of the more advanced topics. So this is really kind of the beginner manual to get you through 3/4 of the program. And after you're done with the book, I think you could easily be making tracks on your own. And if you want to take it further into the more difficult aspects of the program, the second book does that.
Excellent. Well, I really like that. I like the teaching through using real examples, because that's the thing I found. I've read books on production before, and the ones that I tend to gravitate to are the ones that actually give me, well, here's how you actually use this function versus this is what this button does, this is what that button does. That's kind of the realm of the manual, like you said, but you're giving people ways to actually implement it.
I think there's kind of traditional ways to do things, and those are useful to know before you strike out on your own. And there's also, here's how I do things, and everybody's got their own techniques for doing music their own way. So understanding the tool is important, but also, that real-world application is the place to start.
Perfect. And how did this whole relationship come together? How did you link up with the publisher of the book?
I've been teaching at Art Institute of Seattle for like a decade, and one of the guys who worked there, Bill Gibson. Hi, Bill. He works also for Hal Leonard Publishing, and he came to me and he said, "Jake, you're moving to an island. I don't know what you're going to do for work out there, but here's an opportunity. We're getting into this whole DJ thing, and we want you to really capitalize on that and reach a new audience that we haven't really reached out to before. And we know you'd be a good guy to do that. Are you interested?" And I said, "Yeah, I'd write some books on Ableton Live for sure." Perfect. So as soon as I landed here on the island, I wrote for probably better half or 3/4 of the last year, and cranked these two.
Excellent. Well, I'm excited for the second one. So first one aimed more at somebody who's just wants to get a really solid foundation in Ableton, get most of the way through what they need to know to produce a track, and then the second one is aimed at a little bit more of an intermediate and advanced level. And then maybe you could touch on the third book, which will be on Ableton Live 9.
Yes.
When it gets announced, nobody knows yet, but
yeah, these are part of a series called Quick Pro guides, and they are not monstrous tomes. They're designed to get you up and running pretty quickly, and they have a very streamlined focus towards that end. The third book will be kind of a combination of the first two books plus Ableton 9 features when they grace us with their presence of Ableton 9.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah. Well, one thing I wanted to let you guys know about Jake as well is Jake is involved in the Seattle Live Users Group, or the SLUG, as you guys affectionately refer to it. Yeah. And for anybody who's looking for some help, Jake does a couple of things that I think you guys might be very interested in. First of all, Jake will take on clients to do mixdown work and mastering for, and you can do that all online, right? Collaboration.
I can.
That way. Yeah.
There's an incredible studio here on the island that I'm totally blessed to have access to, and it's the finest mix environment I've ever been in, and it's such a pleasure to work there. I love doing mixing and mastering work in there.
Perfect. Just so you know, I'm going to be working with, you guys know I have an album that's going to be dropping in the next few months, and I'm going to be working with Jake in this studio to do all that work. So if you guys are looking for really top-notch help on a single or on an album or an EP, then you can get in touch with Jake. I'll blast his website out at the ending credits of the video. And yeah, as well, Jake also takes on one-on-one Ableton students on Skype. So if you're looking for, if you got in the book and you want to talk to the author, how many authors are accessible that way? And given our new technology with video, Skype, screen sharing back and forth, it makes it very convenient to be able to link up and access Jake's brilliant brain.
What another difference that I've found, there's knowing what you know, and there's being able to teach what you know.
Yes.
And over the 10 years that I was a daily teacher of audio production for Art Institute, you refine and refine and refine and distill the metaphors and the techniques that you use to impart some of these very ephemeral ideas. And that's something I really enjoy doing, is helping distill difficult to understand information in a nice linear fashion that people can absorb and not feel completely overwhelmed.
Totally.
That's part of what the mentality of the book is, and that's how I go about doing my one-on-one training.
And a valuable skill as an educator. And that's, I think, what makes you a brilliant trainer.
Oh.
Well, thanks for taking the time, Jake. Really appreciate it, bro.
Drew. Thanks
and
a lot.
You guys can check out the links for the book and for Jake's website.
Can I do a little crawl?
Yeah, go for it.
Then you put the website.
Do it.
There.
Voila.